Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Four-Wheel Drive Association of British Columbia's Annual Impact Report for 2023. We're going to open the Impact Report with some greetings from our President, Kim Reeves. Welcome to the Four-Wheel Drive Association of British Columbia's Impact Report for 2023. In this report, you will see a snapshot of the work our members and volunteers accomplished in 2023. You will see where your membership dollars went and the value of those dollars expressed in terms of impact. What's more difficult to see is the non-economic value delivered by our members and volunteers to those that participated in our events, those who enjoyed the benefit of our work on recreation sites, education programs, kids events, and cleanups. For example, I recall attending a Wheelers of Tomorrow event where we took 20 kids and a dozen parents on a 4x4 trip to Hale Creek for a barbecue and an afternoon of playing on the shore of Harrison Lake. As I was barbecuing, I was watching kids playing in groups and parents mingling and watching over their kids. I noticed a group of kids dragging small logs out of the woods and building a raft. They worked and chatted away trying to figure out how to tie the logs together. I also noticed others skipping rocks, exploring the forest, finding old logging remains, and their parents were all smiles, mingling and chatting. It then occurred to me that I hadn't seen an electronic device all day, basically since we aired down. After we ate and played until late afternoon, we packed up and hit the road back to the hatchery and said our goodbyes. Considering that story, we know that there was great value for everyone who attended that day. It cannot be measured in dollars, though. I have difficulty in finding the metrics of how to measure that value, but I know that it is great. I know that that day lives on in the memory of every person who attended because it is so far outside the normal everyday activity that is forgotten. Everyone could see the value in the faces and smiles of the children and their parents. Frankly, it was also evident in the faces and smiles of all the volunteers who drove all those folks to Hale and back. How do you measure improvements in mental health, happiness, health, problem solving, belonging, friendship, awe, spirituality, and kindness, or a decrease in anxiety, depression, and loneliness? This is really where the value of volunteering is. It's building a community of like-minded people who, through selfless altruism, improve the lives of others without consideration of personal benefit. It's building connections with other people while also building connections with the land and nature. It's the freedom to have fun while doing these things that ultimately result in doing good works for others whom you will likely never meet. Who knew that so much value could be created by a small membership fee? I hope you enjoy this impact report and know that the board of this association appreciates everything our members and volunteers accomplish. Please know how much of a difference and positive impact you make to our world. Sincerely, Kim Reeves, President, Four-Wheel Drive Association of BC. Four-Wheel Drive Association's mission statement is to promote the responsible use of four-wheel drive and off-road vehicles for enjoying the great outdoors while advocating for public access to public land. Our vision is to be the leading advocate for four-wheel drive facilitated recreation by promoting shared use of roads and trails through collaborative interaction with other backcountry recreation organizations, regulatory bodies, and others having interest in public land use. Our membership. We had 1,043 new members join us in 2023 for a total of 3,765 members at the year end for 2023. If you look at the map in the background, you can see a pin for each individual community that has a member living in it. About 75% of our members reside in the Lower Mainland, 6% on the island, 0.5% in the Sea to Sky region, 1.2% on the Sunshine Coast, 0.9% in the Cariboo, and 1.1% in the Omineeka regions, 5.3% in the Okanagan, 0.5% in the Peace, 1.6% in the Kootenays, and 5.2% in the Thompson-Nicola region. 1.6% of our membership resides in other parts of Canada, and we also have members in the United States, Australia, the United Kingdom, and even in Switzerland. Advocacy. We'd like to take a moment to celebrate some of the hard work that our members and volunteers took on in terms of advocacy this year. The Four-Wheel Drive Association of British Columbia representatives attended dozens of meetings with outside organizations in 2023 on behalf of the association, including with the Outdoor Recreation Council of BC, including the Outdoor Recreation Council of BC's Reconciliation Committee and their Outdoor Recreation Fund. We met with the Lillooet Regional Invasive Species Society, members of the BC Legislative Assembly, the Wilderness Watch Salmon Society, the Shuswap Trail Alliance, the BC Wildlife Federation, the Chilliwack Recreation Advisory Group, the BC Power Sports Coalition, the Cascade Skyline Gondola Project, Recreation Sites and Trails BC, Tread Lightly, and the Lumbee Trail Society. Education and information. You may have seen the Four-Wheel Drive Association in the media, including on Global News, CBC Daybreak North, the Story Till Now channel on YouTube, CBC Radio 1, and in the Ashcroft Cache Creek Journal. We also provided educational and informational sessions at the Columbia Mountains Institute of Applied Ecology Responsible Recreation Pathways, Practices, and Responsibilities Conference, where we did a panel presentation on responsible recreation education efforts, best practices for changing behaviors. We also did webinars with the Outdoor Recreation Council of BC, including the Stewardship Inspiration Guide and an introduction to Tread Lightly. We did information sessions with the BC Wildlife Federation's Women Outdoors program, entitled Introduction to Off-Road Driving. We also added 6 new tread trainers added to the Tread Lightly training team, thanks to Brian Pratt, who's a master tread trainer for Tread Lightly. And at the BC Overland Rally, we hosted a workshop, which was also an introduction to Tread Lightly. Community engagement. We were part of more than 20 events in 2023, including community events such as the Outhouse Races, outdoor shows in the Lower Mainland, Interior, Island, and Peace regions of the province, toy drives, our show and shine, and various meet and greets. Where should we be in 2024? Email events@4WDABC.ca if there's an event near you that we should attend. Public relations and strategic partnerships. We entered into strategic partnerships with a variety of different outside organizations in 2023, including signing a joint maintenance agreement with the Logan Lake ATV Club on the Greenstone Mountain Fire Tower. We also provided sponsorship to the Northwest Mud Racing Association. We provided sponsorship to the Cantoy Divas team at the 2023 Rebelle Rally. Congratulations to the Cantoy Divas for being the winners of the International Cup. We also signed a memorandum of understanding with ATV BC, and we were part of the Outdoor Recreation Council of BC's creation of the $10 million Outdoor Recreation Fund. You'll see Kim Reeves in the back row of the photo there. He's not only our president, but he's also a director for the Outdoor Recreation Council of BC. Wheeling Wisely. Some of the highlights from our Wheeling Wisely program from 2023 include our Train the Trainer program, which we ran from September 11th through the 15th up at Apex near Penticton. The Wheeling Wisely training team has now increased to 31 members after the successful completion of this event, so watch for added course dates and locations to come in 2024. We had more than 125 people attend Wheeling Wisely courses all across the province in 2023. We'd like to send out a huge thank you to the entire Wheeling Wisely training team, who contributed well over 2,700 hours of volunteer time in 2023 to help make this program such a success. Environmental stewardship. We take on a variety of different stewardship projects throughout the year, including rec site maintenance, backcountry cleanups, and trail maintenance. Nearly 3,500 volunteer hours were recorded in 2023 for RSTBC related projects alone. Are you looking for a way to get involved? Email volunteers@4WDABC.ca to get your name on the list for upcoming projects in your area. And you can always report any maintenance related concerns to maintenance@4WDABC.ca and we will get to work. Recreation site management. We now have a total of 28 rec sites that we have partnership agreements on, including 4 different fire towers. We added 7 new rec sites in 2023, including Government Lake in the Omineeka region, 3 Sisters in the Thompson-Nicola region, Grassy Lake and Elbow Lake in the Okanagan region, and our 3 new sites on Vancouver Island, which include Side Bay, Gooding Cove, and O'Connell Lake. We'd like to send a huge thank you to our team of regional representatives, volunteers, and partners at Rec Sites and Trails BC, the Logan Lake ATV Club, BC Parks, and others for all your hard work keeping these sites open and available for everyone to visit and enjoy. Your membership fees at work. We'd like to send a thank you to all of our sponsors, donors, and members, both individual and corporate, whose contributions make it possible for us to do all these amazing things. If you'd like more detail on any of the categories in any of these pie charts, you can refer to our financial statements or send an email to treasurer@4WDABC.ca with your questions. We're always happy to take donations as well, so you can send an email to treasurer@4WDABC.ca or visit our website for more information if you'd like to donate. We'll end today's presentation with a couple of thoughts on the power of backcountry connection. Volunteers maintain rec sites and trails. Members build community. Working together creates synergies, and getting involved creates change.